But yeah, just kind of for people who don't know you, you are a tap dancer and a really good one. Your list of accomplishments is probably as long as my arm. And I mean, we could honestly just talk about that this whole time as well. But what I'm really interested in is that, I mean, you're also a Christian, and those two
Mhm.
parts of you, I think is just a really interesting dichotomy. So tell me a little bit about just how you kind of are both of those things and how those things go hand in hand.
Well, I think, yeah, it's such an interesting question. Um, I guess for me, I spent a lot of time in high school and uh, thinking about literally like who I was. And I used to write this list. And a couple of weeks ago, I was cleaning out my room and kind of moving stuff around, and I actually found these old composition notebooks from high school. I shuffled through them, and I found some of these lists, and the title of the list was like, "Who am I?"
Mm.
And the list would go through a bunch of different kind of major labels, and at the top was always Christian, and then it would be like American because I lived here, and Canadian because I was born there, and Lebanese because that's where my parents are from, and then tap dancer would be at the bottom. And I started really going through and trying to figure out like what did each one of those things mean for me and how much of like my identity was rooted in each one of them. And by the end of high school, like the only thing that was left was Christian.
Mm.
um, because each label and each kind of people group uh, kind of puts on a particular value proposition. Like I found myself taking on, like, because I was Canadian, I felt like I had to learn how to play hockey, and I did that for like a week until I realized like I have zero hand foot coordination, and it's like I can skate, but skate and deal with a stick and a puck is like
Mm-mm.
not happening. Um, but those kinds of things like I needed to do to realize that they weren't really a part of who I was, and I think more recently I've gotten to a point where my faith and what that means in terms of not only who I am in light of God and through Christ, but how that needs to be shown, like what that does in terms of my day-to-day actions, what projects I pick, what kind of work I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if
Yeah.
that's not informing those things, like if my faith isn't informing those things, then I think something's broken somewhere.
Right.